Up. Hi, Himan.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up? Oh, can we see you? Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was just gonna tell them my story how I got into it, but I would love for you to shine in about your amazing experience. Everybody, give him a hand. Give him
Hey,
a hand.
I'll show you. Dasha helped me write my first book. This is what it is. I don't know if you could read it or if it's backwards. Let me see if I can reverse my camera. I don't really use this app much. Here we go. This is my book right here. When trying to be cool goes wrong, what not to do when starting your own company. I'm Himan Bunsel. So, Dasha, I was thinking about writing this book for about 5 years, and I never literally took one step. All of a sudden, Dasha texts me out of nowhere. Like it was like around 8 years or so that we didn't talk, and she just texted me out of nowhere, like, "Hey, you trying to write a book?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And and basically she got me that book out within what was it, 2 months, 3 months
Yeah.
of starting that discussion with her. So the whole book's about my experience of trying to start my own company and all the mistakes I made when trying to start that company when I was in my younger 20s, and basically telling you what not to do when you try to start your own company. Don't do what I did, and then you can get successful by not making those mistakes, saving all that money. And yeah, so basically the process was uh, we just had phone calls, right? I was just literally talking to her about what I want in my book, and she just like transcribed that into book format. And also she had a ton of good ideas. So my original idea was just to have a kind of a basic book, write about what I did. But the biggest thing about my book that she added that I like had nothing to do with, she suggested it. She suggested that I have like a kind of like a conversation in the book with my younger self, which I think was a big game changer in my book, which I'm just so grateful that she suggested that. And yeah, it was just so easy. And I'm just so happy that I was able to, get it out there and just like be able to tell people about it and share my experiences. And mostly the reason I wanted to write a book because I always had this kind of like like a kind of like a turmoil, like a angst in my heart, in my soul, that like why couldn't I have ever gone anywhere? And it was kind of like closure, finally having some closure that yeah, I tried to start a company, could have gone somewhere, but I made a ton of mistakes, and finally I was able to like let that part of my past go and finally move forward. So yeah, thanks, Dasha.
Yeah, and do you mind if I ask you a few questions since you're here? Oh,
Sure.
drop fire emojis if you found this inspiring. What's up? Fire emojis, hot, hot, hot. We actually, I think we had our first draft done in like 5 phone call sessions that were recorded within 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. As soon as like we got the skeleton, the bones or whatever, that first like main draft, then it was just like, yeah, I think we had like 95% done within the first month, and then after that it was just refining it, taking it from like a rough diamond to a cut diamond.
Yeah. And do you remember how sometimes like I asked you questions that you were like, huh? That like took you a little bit deeper to like why, like becoming more
Yeah,
authentic, right? Like, oh, I didn't think that wow, this is really,
yeah,
really running the
definitely.
show.
So yeah, like the most one of the most important things was the kind of reflection questions that you asked me and dug deeper into it, um like really going to my childhood, like really I like bringing up things that I didn't even think I could remember from when I was like 7 8 years old, like that spelling bee. Like you asked some sort of question to me, I don't even remember the real question, like what was something that you were embarrassed by or something that you felt like you failed, and all of a sudden I thought about third grade. First time I thought about that in 2 decades, that I literally was like one letter off from a spelling bee that got me into second place instead of first place. Um, and yeah, it was just those type of like reflection questions that we added into the book too that just dug deeper and yeah, just I wouldn't have been able to think of those without her kind of pushing that onto me. So I was really thankful about that too.
Give him a hand, give him a hand. It's so cool. And the thing is, like, as he was having a conversation with his old self, like part of you was probably like healing, like, oh, it's cool, dude. Like you did your best. Wow. Like that's like, now you understand why you wanted to go out and have like this crazy lavish lifestyle and to try to prove things to people. But also like you became more authentic and I think you got into a relationship that served you after that. So there's a lot of things that happen like because you're more joyous and more who you are is the result of the process, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's also about like trying to be your own best friend. I think a lot of us we're really tough on ourselves. We kind of like beat ourselves up a lot, and like imagine if one of your friends came up to you and they felt bad about something, like they lost $20,000 on GameStop stock or something, right? You wouldn't like grill them. You wouldn't say like, dude, why'd you buy $20,000 of GameStop stock? That company's failing, right? You would be like, hey, dude, it's okay. Stock market goes up and down. Like you're still a good person, right? So we should be the same to ourselves. When we feel like we failed at something, we got to be our own best friend, just like how we would be your best friend's best friend and be easy on ourselves, just support yourself and help that. Yeah, a lot of that helped me reflect on how I'm really tough on myself a lot, but I wouldn't be like that with anyone else. Um, and yeah, so you be your own best friend.
Yeah. And then I like the part that where I don't remember how we decided to do this, but we decided to incorporate questions, right, at the end of each chapter. So the chapters were
Yeah,
short lessons talking to your old self about the mistakes, quote unquote, lessons that you learned. So that way other entrepreneurs don't learn them. And then we came up with this idea to put questions or you even made them like to a point of like these are just things that you should go out there that would make you a better person whether
yeah.
you are an
So
entrepreneur or not.
one set was like reflection questions, and then the other was the exercises, the real time exercises. So one question would be like reflect on this particular thing in your past or your current or your future, and another thing would be a exercise like talk to 5 people within 5 feet of you within 5 seconds. Uh, in one day just to help socialize if you're trying to start your own business. So yeah, we put those reflection questions and those we called them application exercises. Yeah.
How many of you think this is pretty awesome? Like, wow, like it's interactive book and it's life lesson. What the hell? How many of you believe that if he can do it, so can you? Yeah. Woo! Yes, yes, yes. And any other feedback, inspiration for everybody here who's an aspiring author?
Yeah, no, just jump in and do it because like it just was, yeah, 5 years I was thinking of it, going nowhere. Less than probably 5 weeks, we had a 95% completed book with Dasha. So I'm planning on writing my second and third books pretty soon with her. My next book is going to be about dating. I think the whole like dating world has changed ever since the online dating got so popular. A lot of people really kind of angry and upset, not sure how to navigate this new dating world. So that's going to be the next one. And then after that, I'm going to write a book about finance and investing because I think it's something that has been almost a criminally undertaught by the education system, the general education system. I kind of believe it's a somewhat of a conspiracy to keep us all working slaves so that we don't learn how to get our money right and have that freedom of having, ability to quit your job if you're getting mistreated or want to travel the world for a little bit. So I got 2 more books coming out that I'm currently conceptualizing. I'm 100% going to go to Dasha for them.
I love you. And oh, lastly, we did a call to action in your book. we created a website for you, right? Like where people can go
Hmm.
get the book, get on phone calls with you. So that was a pretty fun process too, like, right? Now they can go
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
website and look it up.
So at this point, yeah, I'm having a pretty good time. People are contacting me from the website who've seen the book or read it, and they're contacting me, and I'm giving them little bits of advice on where to go with their company and what steps to take. And yeah, so that website's also helping me in my journey to be a transformational coach, try to help people get every aspect of their lives figured out. Yeah.
Yes. So who here like is like, whoa, like I want to know